AG William Barr said Wednesday that he did not review the underlying evidence in Mueller's report before he concluded that Mueller's findings did not reach the threshold to charge Trump with obstructing justice.
Here's a summary of the article.
Attorney General said Wednesday that he did not review the underlying evidence in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's report before he concluded that Mueller's findings did not reach the threshold to charge with obstructing justice. We accepted the statements in the report as the actual record. We did not go underneath it to see whether or not they were accurate. We accepted it as accurate, Barr said Wednesday while testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Advertisement. The revelation came during a line of questioning led by Sen, a 2020 presidential candidate, who pressed Barr on what evidence he reviewed before determining that there was not sufficient evidence to charge the president with obstruction. We presented the evidence presented in the report. This is not a mysterious process. And in the Department of Justice we have cross memos and declination memos every day coming up, and we don't go and look at the underlying evidence. We take the characterization of the evidence as true, he added. Democrats, who have accused Barr of acting as the president's defense attorney, increasingly are calling on Barr to resign. Barr has faced sharp backlash from Democrats for his handling of Mueller's more than 400-page report on his investigation into Russian election interference and possible obstruction of justice by Trump. A Justice Department spokeswoman said Tuesday that Mueller expressed frustration to Barr over the lack of context in his memo describing the special counsel's investigation's findings.
This post received a score of 6,627, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What happened to all those checks and balances I learned about from that cartoon about bills on Capitol Hill?
There's a new cartoon Bill in town and his last name is Barr.
Bill Barr's barred bills. If this bothers you, vote in 2020. If this really bothers you, get others to vote too. If people would get off the sidelines, there is zero chance Trump would be re-elected. Don't spend your time trying to convince Trump supporters to change their vote. Spend your time getting non-voters to get into the game.
Yeah, and cheer on those that are doing that. We can spend a little more time cheering on those of us that are trying to make a difference and less time arguing with those that refuse to examine.
Seriously, even if your votes are suppressed, go vote. Because good people who can act don't see and can't know if your vote is being suppressed because of shit like gerrymandering, etc., unless you show it.
Even some really badly gerrymandered districts turned in the last cycle. There really are enough votes to change things, but people have to get off their asses.
So, simply put, he did the job he was hired to do, not the job his position entails.
Evidence isn't important. Come on, you'd know that too if you were in Donnie's inner circle.
It's only important if you haven't already made up your mind.
I don't get it, is he playing with words here? How can you make a conclusion about whenever prosecute a case without reviewing the evidence?
Mueller's thought process: DOJ policy prevents indictment of a sitting president. DOJ policy prevents accusation of guilt without indictment. Policy does however permit the special counsel to support innocence. Therefore, collusion, insufficient evidence to charge, innocent obstruction. Mueller finally details many acts of obstruction and clearly doesn't support innocence for most of them. The playing with words is that Barr is saying that because Mueller didn't indict nor accuse the president, that therefore the president must be innocent. It's intellectually dishonest because Mueller is constrained by policy, and Barr's representation of the report without the lens of policy is deceptive. If Barr's objective was to declare innocence, then all Barr needed to do was cherry-pick the part of the report where Mueller supports innocence somewhere, then ignore the remainder, because the remainder cannot accuse nor indict. It's going to be very interesting if we find out Barr on one hand recommended Mueller to adhere to policy, then on the other hand told Congress that he believed Mueller should have indicted if he believed a crime were committed.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.